So our next topic is related to non-product assets. So these are items like milk crates or pallets or cylinders or racks, different products that you guys use to perform your deliveries that cost you money, but you don't necessarily pass on a cost to your customers on. They're necessary for the delivery operation, but ultimately they just have a cost to you. And really, when you're understanding the value of this, the key is, okay, well, what are those items? Could be even trays. Variety of different items could be considered these non-product assets. Are you utilizing new or used? From a pallet perspective, are you using older wood pallets, or are you using the Euros plastic pallets? What are those? Do you have any idea how many are being delivered and then returned to your customers? In some cases, you may be tracking that just at the truck level, saying, hey, I put so many pallets or racks or different items on a truck, and kind of confirm at that level maybe what's coming back. But that's not going to help you understand where loss may be coming from. So if we look at this from a financial perspective, milk crates could be anywhere from $4 to $10 a piece. Pallets could be $15 or could be $100. Again, what are you buying? How many are you buying? Things like that. If you kind of net this out, based on those sort of numbers, you're missing so many a day across all your routes. This would not just be on potentially on one route. You're looking at $15,000 to $20,000 in milk crates a day or a year, and then with losing one pallet a day, that could equate to between $35,000 and $40,000 a year. We had one customer we worked with that was fairly convinced that their loss as it related to this was somewhere close to $250,000 a year. But again, they really didn't have a good idea because they weren't able to track it with much accuracy. So there's potentially a lot of money that can be saved just by understanding what's happening here and helping you identify if there is loss and where that loss is originating. Is it a driver issue, or is it a customer issue? Who's the offender in lost non-product assets? So a couple benchmarks as it relates to this. The best place to start is understand, what do you guys spend on replacing these assets or replenishing these assets on a yearly basis? Getting a full count of what you have initially, that would be very difficult to do, even though that would be one place to start. But knowing what the costs are yearly to replenish those assets is a great place to start. And then capturing quantities of delivered and returned at the customer stop level is really the next key there. And once you've got some of that information, analyzing it to give yourself visibility into loss or not. Is there a loss rate that you've got that you need to work on? And keep in mind, this is not something that has to, you have to roll out company-wide in one big boom. It really could start with one or two routes, or it even could start with one or two customers, the deliveries to and from those customers that you believe may be part of the issue. Just by having the ability to track some of this information, you have the potential to reduce the loss of these by 50% by being able to identify what the loss rate is, as well as where that's coming from. And again, that's money that goes straight to your bottom line.
Daryl, I want to interject that in that survey that we did pre-webinar, none of the respondents indicated that they track their non-product assets. So I want to remind our audience, just by implementing this one track or this one method of tracking your non-product assets, you can have a super easy win for your distribution operation, because like Daryl said, that money that you save goes straight to the bottom line.
Yep. Yeah, it really is a a key point to at least evaluate. I mean, it may not apply to all businesses based on the types of products that you're distributing to or the customers you're distributing to. But in the event that these types of items are in use, it's a good place to start to understand if there's just money leaking out of the organization through this.